Hey everybody, it's Tanya Atomic, and today I am going to be reviewing the Midnight Festival palette and the two lip gloss duos from BH Cosmetics. The lip gloss duos come in 2 packs of 2, Plur and Candy. Candy's more of a nude, Plur is a little bit of a deeper sort of plummy burgundy. Let's go ahead and get into the palette first. So it comes in this cover, but it is open, which is kind of nice. There's information on the back here. The cover of this is really cool. It's a lenticular design with fireworks. As you move it back and forth, you can see the fireworks going off. Which I really like that. I really enjoy fireworks, so that's fun for me. It says 20 color shadow and pressed glitter palette, so let's get into it. It does come with a protective cover that just flew away, so that's on the floor now. It does have this mirror here, and these are all the colors. So it has some, I think these are duochrome shimmers right here. And then the rest of these are mattes. And then this row here are all pressed glitters. So let's go ahead and swatch. And why don't I do it exactly that way? So I'll do the shimmers, the mattes, and the pressed glitters like that so that they can all be grouped together. So let's use this arm. So the first one here is Fantasy, and it is a pink shimmer, and I'm lying because it's not duochrome, but it's sort of a bubblegum pink shimmer. Then we've got Laser, which is green. Now that one is sort of a duochrome. It's got a gold shift to it. And actually the pink one does the pink one have a little bit of a shift? Gold shift to it, I'm not sure. Let's see, Wonderland is this blue. And then we have Euphoria here. And Euphoria is a pink with a blue shift. So I think they are duochromes, all of them, except maybe Wonderland. Okay, now let's do the mattes here, and we'll start with this lavender one, Dance. Well, that comes off very pinkish. Okay, then Star is this white one here. And Star is super light. Now, I'm going to try to build it. For a white, it is very, very pale, very, very soft. It is slightly buildable, as you can see. I just built it up a little bit. That's 3 swatches. Let me try 4. I did use it on my eyes today, and I actually appreciated the fact that it was a little bit more sheer because it worked well with the other shadows. It blended, and it didn't give me a stark white. I just wanted a little bit of a highlight, and so I actually appreciate that. Then we have Bubbles, which is this blue one here. And that is highly, highly pigmented. That is 1 swatch. And then we have Experience, which is soft baby pink, which I used for a blending transition shade. As you can see, it doesn't show up very strongly against my skin. Then on the next row here is Main Stage. That is a very hot pink. Very pigmented, again, the same as that blue, very pigmented and very strong colors. Then After Party is this lime green. Now that one is a little less pigmented than the pink, but it is still, I'm going to do 2 swatches. It's still pretty strong of a color. Part of it because I swatched diagonally down, but we'll get through this. So yeah, it's not as strong as the pink or the blue, but it definitely built up, and it is a pretty strong green. So then we have this light teal beet drop here. And that's similar to the green. Well, actually, that's pretty pigmented. Then we have Techno, which is this darker purple. That also is fairly pigmented. Then we have this Ferris wheel, which is this orange. Orange too is fairly pigmented. Daisy is this yellow. That's going to be a test of this palette. Okay, so that's one swatch on the yellow. A lot of times yellows take a little bit more building. Okay, now that is actually not bad. That's 3. And that is not bad. I can live with that. I can live with a buildable yellow. Okay, now the last 2 of the mattes is base, and this is a coral. Coral's pretty pigmented, but let me go over it one more time. Okay, that's better. I like that. Okay. And then Nocturnal, which is black. And that is fairly dark. I will say I use Nocturnal, and I will say that if you keep blending and blending and blending, it will blend away. It does come off as very pigmented and dark, but I think it is made to play well with the other shadows. So it's not too, I don't know, it's not something you have to be super careful with, like using a tiny bit, a little goes a long way kind of thing. You can use it as normal and blend it with the other shadows and not worry about it overpowering. And while I say blend away, I'm not saying that in a bad sense where it gets patchy or just turns into nothing. But if you continue to blend, it will get, you know, lighter and lighter, which actually works in its favor with this palette, I think, with these colors. So the black can blend off and the white is sheer at first, and I think that's absolutely appropriate for this particular palette. So let's go ahead with the glitters. So here's Firework. It's like a blue sparkly glitter in a pink base. So that's that. And then Jewel here is blue sparkly glitter in a purple base. And then Sparkler is that same blue glitter in a pink base. And then we've got Noise, which is basically blue on blue. So that's that blue glitter in a blue base, but it does come off the, well, yeah, it's that blue in a blue base basically. So here's everything. It's very colorful. I really like this color scheme because it has bright colors. It has the dark that's easily blendable. It has the white that is sheer that you can mix. It's made to mix colors, I think. It does have very vibrant pastels and very vibrant colors, and then these glitters, which, I mean, they are chunky because they are glitters. I mean, that is the nature of glitters, but for pressed glitters, they're pretty good. They're pretty smooth. I'm going to show you what I did to get this, and then I'm going to do lip swatches, and I'll be back. So I'm going to go into Experience here, into the crease. I just primed my eyes with Nomad eye primer. I have to say I had a little bit of a ordeal just now because I accidentally touched my eye in a way. I wear rigid contacts, or hard contacts people call them, and I touched my eye in such a way that my contact actually went to the side. And if you're seeing a bit of redness in here, it's because my contact stuck on the white part of my eye, and it's such a pain to get it back into place. I had to put eye drops in and like finagle it around until it went back into place. And all in the meanwhile, and if you're squeamish, skip this part, but all in the meanwhile, the edges, you know, is kind of like rubbing into my eyeball, hence all the redness right in here. So that was an ordeal, but I did manage to get it back on. This happened to me several times in my life, so the first couple times I was really panicky, but I'm sort of used to it now, and you know, it doesn't happen often, but I think it's probably happened about 7 or 8 times in my lifetime, and I've been wearing contacts since I was about 13, so does anyone else have hard contacts? Do you have any stories? Do you feel me? Do you know what I'm trying to say here? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Dance. And I'm just going to use that. I'm going to tap off and just use that same brush. So far these are blending really well. And they seem to be, at least Dance seems to be the kind of color that builds, which is nice. And I'm actually going to go into Techno, into this darker purple, because even though this is a bright palette, I want to go for a little bit of a darker look. Okay, I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with Nocturnal. I'm going to go with Euphoria on the lid. I'm going to try a brush first to see how that performs. And it's actually not bad. Let me try to use my finger and see how that works. Okay, I'm going to take this pencil brush and go into Fantasy here. Into an inner corner. I'm going to just take it and blend it a little bit to the lid. I'm going to go into Star, this white one, and just lightly go under the brow with that. It is sort of a soft buildable white, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, and then underneath I'm going to go with Main Stage. I'm going to lightly blend that out with Dance. Okay, and then for the final touch, I'm going to take Firework and just pop that in the center of my lid. And I actually went up a little higher because it is, it's just a shimmery kind of glitter. Doesn't add too much color really, just a little pink, which I already have pink and purple. So I just went a little bit higher with that. So I'm back with liner and mascara. I put just a really thin black liner on the top and some mascara on. And I'm gonna try on the lip swatches now. This one is Riot from the Plur Duo. I'm gonna try Sequin on top of this. It makes a nice shine. It doesn't change the color too much, but this, and it's a little sparkly. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and try it by itself. This is Sequin on its own. It's really lightly tinted, but it does have sparkle to it. So I can see my natural lip underneath, but there is sparkle to it and just a hint of tint. So now I'm going to try the Candy Duo. Lip duos, there's 2 in each one. The Candy Duo has a Rowdy and Gem. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try Rowdy first, Gem on top, and then Gem by itself. Actually, I lied. I'm going to do Gem by itself first. That way you'll get a better idea of what that looks like on its own. And these are heavy duty, thick, really wide glosses with a big wide doe foot applicator. And that is very much more sheer than any of the other glosses. It does have a sparkle to it as well, but very, very sheer. The tint barely shows at all. You can see my nude lip underneath. I'll take this off and try the next one. So this one is Rowdy. And that does have pigment. It's a very nude color. So this is Rowdy. So slightly sheer nude color. And then I'm just gonna add Gem on top to give it a little sparkle. Okay, so this is what Rowdy looks like with Gem on top. So final thoughts about the Midnight Festival lip glosses. I really like these, and I like these more than I thought I would. They are pretty inexpensive. I think they're 2 for $12. I actually got them on sale, so I got them for way less. And BH has sales a lot. BH Cosmetics does have sales quite a bit, so you can look for really, really good deals. So I believe they're 2 for $12, but I'll leave the website down below so you can take a look for yourself. I like that this is a thick but not too long of a tube. I really like that. I like how chunky and thick it is. It feels very substantial. There's a lot of product in there, but it's not like a long thin tube. So this is something that I would feel more comfortable putting in my purse and not being able to lose it. It's very substantial. I really like the large doe foot applicator. Some of the rounded doe foot applicators are hard for me because I have points at the top of my lips and it's hard to get in. This one, the very tip is so sharp. I mean, it's not actually sharp to the touch, but the tip is very, it's rounded but comes to an edge, so that it is really easy for me to get in all the little corners of my lips. The only thing it does, because there's an edge, it sometimes leaves a little extra product right on the outside where the edge meets, but that's very easily fixable. I really, really enjoy these. I like these. I thought I would like them, but I like these way, way more than I thought I would. The colors are really, really pretty. The feel is not sticky at all, but it does feel thick. So there's no stickiness in any way. at all. But there is a thick creaminess, so I do feel it on my lips. There's a little bit of a heft to the lip gloss, but it's not overly heavy in any way. But it isn't sticky at all. So that's a surprise. It's more of a creamy feel. Yeah, I really, really enjoy these. And the palette, so here again is the palette with the lenticular design of the fireworks there. I really like this a lot more than I thought I would as well. I do like the colors of the mattes, and the shimmers are really nice. I actually don't mind the glitter. There's 4 glitters, but it's really nice. You know, they say not to use glitter around the eyes, but you know, a lot of people do. I do. I'm not saying to do that yourself. But it is a really thin formula that feels lightweight. It feels easy to apply. It's actually a glitter formula that I don't mind. I actually kind of like it. So I would definitely, I'm going to get way more use out of this palette than I thought I would. Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. So I say it's definitely worth the price. BH Cosmetics typically is pretty good, and I think in this case, this palette is quite good and worth the price. And like I said, they have sales all the time. You can always wait for a sale and get it at a steal, basically. But I do think it is worth the price. Do you enjoy BH Cosmetics? Do you have this palette? Any questions on this palette? You can leave that in the comments below. That is it for today's video. Thanks for watching.